Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Swarna Ma'am's Biology. So in this video, let us discuss about the kingdom Protista. So this is my fourth lecture regarding the lesson biological classification. So let us start. So before going into our topic, let us recall what we have discussed in our previous classes. So first question is bacteria whose shape is comma-like are known as coccus, spirillum, vibrio, bacillus. So the correct option is vibrio. Bacteria which are comma shaped are called as vibrio. Now let us discuss the second question. Monarians that are famous for thriving in the high salt regions are called as, see the options carefully children, they are halophytes, methanogens, thermoacidophiles, hyperthermoacidophiles. So among these four options, the correct answer is halophiles. So the Monarians that are famous for thriving in the high salt regions are called as halophiles. Now let us see the third question. Which of the following is a photosynthetic organism? Lactobacillus, Archaebacteria, Cyanobacteria, and none of the above. So if you see the options, what is the correct answer? Photosynthetic organism means they must have some pigment for carrying out the photosynthesis. So we know the correct option is cyanobacteria. So the bacteria which is able to synthesize its own food material by photosynthetic are belonging to cyanobacteria. Now, let us proceed further. So, the mycoplasma are called as bacteria with their coats off because, see the options, they lack the cell wall, they lack the cell membrane, they live in the warmer conditions, they lack both cell wall and the cell membrane. So, bacteria with their coats off. We are calling the mycoplasma like this. Why? Because the main answer is they lack the cell wall. Now, see the fifth question. Chemosynthetic bacteria use which of the following for energy production? Okay. So, see the options, children. Nickel, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. Mainly, the chemosynthetic bacteria will be containing nitrogen, which helps in the conversion of nitrogen into nitrites and nitrates, which help in the nitrogen fixation. So the correct option is B, that is nitrogen. So these are the questions which we have discussed. Means these are the questions regarding the topics which we have discussed in our previous classes. So if you have not followed that class, I will give the link so that you can see the videos to answer these questions. So now let us proceed further for the today's class. So these are the options. So these are the answers for those questions. Now, coming to our class today. So, we are discussing about the kingdom Protista. So, these protistans include single-celled eukaryotes. Eukaryotes means we have discussed these organisms will be having true nucleus. So, these organisms which include true nucleus and they are single-celled are belonging to the kingdom Protista. And they are mainly aquatic, that is primarily aquatic, and these organisms, when they are motile, means when they are able to move, they contain the organelles like flagella and cilia. So, flagella and cilia. So, this is a flagella and these are the cilia, which helps these organisms for their motility, means movement. Now, coming to our next topic. So, these organisms maybe means these have the characters belonging to the plants as well as these includes the characters belonging to the animals. So these protistans, as they have the characters of both the plants and animals, they are called as connecting link between plants and animals. These protistans are called as connecting link between plants and animals as they are showing the characters of both plants and animals. So coming to the protista, this is divided into So the kingdom protista include chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoid, slime mounds, and protozoans. Let us discuss about these organisms now clearly. So before that, let us take a small concept test in what we have discussed. So some of the protists are often considered as connecting links between plants and bacteria, animals and bacteria, plants and animals, fungi and animals. So children, carefully see the question. Protists are often considered connecting links between plants and bacteria, or animals and bacteria, or plants and animals, or fungi and animals. Just now we have discussed these protistans are showing the characters of both the plants and the animals, so they are called as connecting link between plants and animals. So the correct option is C. Okay. Now let us discuss about chrysophytes. So what are chrysophytes? This includes the animals, that is organisms, which are called as diatoms, or golden algae, which are called as desmids. Okay, so it includes diatoms as well as golden algae, which are called as desmids. They are mostly photosynthetic organisms, means they are autotrophic in nature. They prepare their own food material, and they are both freshwater and marine environment, means they live in both the habitats, maybe freshwater as well as marine environment. And when we see the cell structure of the diatoms, okay, so it is similar to that of our soap box. Means it contains a base and a lid-like structure which correctly fits into the on the soap box. And this diatom organism will be inside that lid-like structure. And when we see the cell wall of the diatoms, it is made up of silica. So because of this, it will be able to survive in so many types of habitats. So these diatoms mainly are present in the freshwater. So um, in so many ages, after so many ages, the silical wall of the diatoms will be changed into a structure, means like a powder like structure, which forms what is called as diatomaceous earth, which is very rich, means which is very much useful for production of some of the oils, which help in the polishing, and even for the preparation of some of the syrups which we'll be using in our day-to-day lives. Now let us take a small concept test. So the cell wall of the diatoms consists of large amount of, so let us see the options: seaborgium, cobalt, silica, and calcium. So the diatom's cell wall is made up of what is called as silica. Just we have discussed in now previous slides. So the correct option is C. So now let us discuss about dinoflagellates. So when we discuss about dinoflagellates, so these belong to the marine water, means they live in the marine water, and even in the oceans, and even in the of different colors. Why? Because of the presence of the different pigments. And coming to the characters of these dinoflagellates, and these dinoflagellates contains what are called as cellulose plates. Okay, so these dinoflagellates contains what are called as cellulose plates, and a small flagella like structure, and even means it contains flagella like structure which may be longitudinal or which may be transverse, means which is horizontal we call it as transverse, as well as longitudinal flagella which helps in the movement of the organism. And they contain what are called as cellulose plates which helps in the protection of this organism inside, means inside the oceans, from the other big fishes, etc. So the examples of the organisms is gonilux, and this by rapid multiplication in the seas and water, they form the red tides. Why? Because these dinoflagellates are of different pigments. They contain different pigments which give different colors to that organism. So because of the rapid multiplication of the organism, they form what are called as red tides in the oceans, and they even liberate some of the toxins which even kill the fishes which are present in the oceans. Now let us take a small concept test. So the question is, Which of the following are responsible for causing the red tides? So, see the options, students: Gelidium, Noctilucea, Trichodesmium, Goldilocks. So just now we have discussed Goldilocks is an example of a dinoflagellate. So this is the organism which forms what is called as red tides because of the liberation of the pigment in the ocean because of the rapid multiplication. So the correct option is D. Okay. Now let us discuss about the other type of the organism which are called as euglenoids and slime molds. So coming to the euglenoid and slime molds, these show the characters of both the plants as well as animals. Example of this is euglena. And this euglena lives in fresh water and it is photosynthetic because of the presence of the pigment that is chlorophyll. And some are heterotrophs in nature when in the absence of sunlight means it is showing the characters of both plants and animals. In the presence of sunlight, it prepares photosynthesis. In absence of sunlight, it depends on the other small organisms for their food. So it is heterotrophic in nature and it contains a long flagella which helps in the locomotion. So this is a flagella which helps in the movement of the organism. And when we are seeing the structure of this euglena, and it contains the outer layer which is called as pellicle, okay, and there are nucleus and there are chlorophyll containing chloroplast which helps in the formation of the food material with the help of photosynthesis. Now, let us discuss about slime molds. So, these are saprophytic protists. Under suitable condition and even in the unfavorable conditions, they live differently. Under suitable condition, they form a slime-like structure or jelly-like structure. Okay, and under unfavorable conditions, they form the spore-like structures. So, under unfavorable conditions as well as under favorable conditions, they can live. So, they are called as saprophytic protists. They live in the damp environment, and these have proof walls which are resistant and they survive for several years. Now, let us take a small concept test. The dash which makes the body of the said organism flexible is, so let us see the options. It is found in slime molds, euglena, amoeba, as well as entamoeba. So the dash which makes the body of the said organism flexible. So we have studied just now, it is in the euglena which contains pellicle which makes the shape of that organism flexible or the body of that organism flexible. So the correct option is euglena, that is B. So the correct option is euglena. Now coming to the protozoans. So protozoans means proto means primitive, jova means animal. So protozoans are primitive animals. So these protozoans, these are some of the examples of the protozoans, and they are mainly heterotrophs. They are predators or parasites, means they kill the other organisms or depend on the other organisms for their life, for the survival, or for their food, shelter, etc. Now they are primitive relatives of animals. So they are called as protozoans, first formed animals. Okay, these protozoans include amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and sporozoans. So these are the four types of the protozoans. Amoeboid protozoans, amoeba, example. Flagellated protozoans, just now we have seen it is euglena. Ciliated protozoan, example, paramecium. Sporozoans, example, plasmodium. So all these are protozoans. Okay, so amoeboid protozoans, just now we have seen. So they live in the that is moist soil as well as in the fresh water, or some live in the marine water also, that is sea. So move with the help of pseudopodia. So the locomotory organelle in the case of the amoeboid protozoans is pseudopodia, and even with the help of the pseudopodia, they capture the food material. The best examples are amoeba, entamoeba, etc. So now coming to the marine organisms which have the silica platings. Examples of them. Okay. So these are some of the examples which belong to the protozoa. So this is amoeba, antamoeba, and this is a marine organism which has silica platings. Okay. So coming to the flagellated protozoans. Example, amoeba, trypanosoma, and they contain flagella for their movement. And but could also be parasitic, means even though they are some organisms like euglena which prepare the food material with the help of the chlorophyll pigment, but some protozoans depend on the other organisms for their food and shelter, so they are parasitic. Example, trypanosoma, so which causes the disease which is called as sleeping sickness. Okay, that is trypanosoma. This is an organism which causes what is called as sleeping sickness, which is a protozoan disease, which we will be studying later. Okay, so this is a flagellated protozoan. Now coming to the ciliated protozoans, they move with the help of the cilia. They are exclusively aquatic organisms. Okay, they are mostly active because of the presence of the cilia. So coming to the ciliated protozoans, they help in the means they contain some structures, okay, which is like a channel which help in the nutrition of the organism, means they store the food material and later they use it. Example is paramecium. And coming to the sporozoans, they form the spore like structure in their life cycle, and these are caused means these sporozoans causes some of the diseases like malaria, okay, filaria, etc. All these are sporozoans. Plasmodium. Example is plasmodium, which causes malaria, is a sporozoan parasite. Means it is a parasite belonging to the protozoa. So sporozoans, they form the spores. Example is plasmodium, and they are worldwide in distribution. So now, children, let us take a small concept test which we have discussed in this class. Trypanosoma is it is a flagellated protozoan, it is a bacteria, it is a virus, it is a ciliated protozoan. So I will pause the video for 2 minutes. So see the options: flagellated protozoan, bacteria, virus, ciliated protozoan. So children, just now we have discussed trypanosoma contains flagella which helps in the movement. So the correct option is that is flagellated protozoan. Okay, that is a flagellated protozoan. So let us summarize the entire class. All the single-celled eukaryotes are grouped under the kingdom protista, which includes chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. Now, chrysophytes, what they include? Diatoms and desmids, which are mostly photosynthetic. Cells of the diatoms are embedded with silica and which helps in the organism to protect from the harsh conditions. So the dinoflagellates are mostly marine as well as photosynthetic and appear red, brown, blue, green, etc. depending upon the pigments. In addition to the cell wall, euglenoids have a pellicle which makes their body flexible. So euglenoids also have a flagella and a shorter log one. Okay, they are photosynthetic as well as heterotrophic in nature. Okay, slime molds, which are saprophytic protists under suitable conditions. So slime molds, they are saprophytic protists. So the examples of the saprophytic protists are slime molds. Under suitable conditions, they form what is called as plasmodium. Now, protozoans are heterotrophs and live as predators as well as parasites. So, some protozoans are heterotrophs, some are autotrophs. Okay, some are autotrophs and some are heterotrophs. And there are, when we see, there are four major groups of the protozoans, that is amoeba, protozoa, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, as well as sporozoans. Now coming to the amoeboid protozoans, they move with the help of the what is called as pseudopodia, and they capture the food with the help of what is called as pseudopodia. Now, coming to the flagellated protozoans, they have the flagella on their body, which helps in the movement, and some flagellated protozoans are called as parasites. And coming to the ciliated protozoans, and these organisms have what is called as cilia, which helps in the movement. And coming to the sporozoans, these sporozoans live in the diverse environment because of the formation of the spores in their life cycle. Example is we have discussed, that is plasmodium. Children, so what we have discussed it now contains some of the questions in your NCERT book. Okay, so in the page that is in your 3, 4, 6, and 10. These are the questions in your books as well as in your workbook. Numbers are 2 and 9.
Normally, they will
So
be
after
having
listening this
2.
video,
So the
so
correct
answer
option is
try to
B.
answer these questions in your NCERT book in this lesson, that is biological classification, that is numbers 3, 4, 6, and 10. And see in your workbooks also 2 and 9, and try to answer them. So before ending this class, let us recall again with a test. Which of the following possesses pseudopodia? See the options: amoeba, paramecium, entamoeba, both A and C. So pseudopodia, it will be present in amoeba as well as entamoeba. So the correct options are A and C. Okay. Now read the next question. The disease sleeping sickness is caused by leishmania, trypanosoma, giardia, none of this. So sleeping sickness is caused by the organism which is called as trypanosoma. Okay. Now let us see the next question. How many types of body forms do slime molds show in their life? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So normally they will be showing long flagella.
Normally, they will be
So
having
in Euglena, we
2.
have seen
So the
all these
correct
three, that is
option is
pellicle,
B.
pseudopodia, and short flagella. Sorry, pellicle, short flagella, and long flagella. We will not be seeing what is called as pseudopodia. So not. So it is, answer is pseudopodia. Now let us see the next question. Mosquitoes are known for spreading which of the following protozoans? Plasmodium, paramecium, amoeba, none of this. So it is Plasmodium, which is a protozoan which is spread by female Anopheles mosquito, which causes what is called as malaria. So the correct option is A. Okay. So these are the answers for those questions which we have discussed now. Okay. So I will be ending this class with this. Hope you like this class. If you like, please share and subscribe my channel, Swarna Ma'am's Biology. Stay tuned for the next videos. Thank you. Red, brown, and